Hi guys, it's Kim, and I wanted to take a minute to just briefly talk to you about meditation and working with crystals. I know a lot of times we get our crystals and we're not quite sure what to do with them, and there's a lot of different things you can do with them. And over time, I will build more of a library of videos on my YouTube channel. I think I have about 140 videos right now, and it's taking me some time to answer a lot of these questions and to make videos about them so that you can refer back as needed. But I do get questions about meditation and how to use crystals. And first of all, in talking about meditation, meditation doesn't have to be a big, huge ordeal. When I first started doing meditation, and working with crystals, I would really, it was like this huge, elaborate Broadway production, you know. I would have to have incense burning and candles burning, and I'd cleanse my space, and I would really do all this stuff. I'd have to have perfect music. I would spend a lot of time, you know, figuring out what I wanted to use. I would have aromas and on all this stuff, and I think this is all great. But I used to get very deterred from actually doing the meditations because it was taking me so long to set up and clean up. Like that, a 20-minute or half-hour meditation was actually taking me 3 hours because I turned it into a Broadway production all the time. And it doesn't have to be like that. You know, sometimes maybe on a full moon or a special event, a special meditation, sure, you can do that. But other times, if you just want to take 15 or 20 minutes out of every day to do a little meditation, for me personally, and this has been my experience because I've done all the elaborate meditations, but for right now, for me, those 15, 20-minute meditations have been phenomenal for me. And it takes the stress out of preparing and being perfect. I am a perfectionist. I always have to prepare everything and have notes, and even when I do the videos, I set up, look what's behind you, you know, behind me here that's all set up. Usually what's behind me are pictures of my kids and my husband. You know, I don't want to have that in the video. So I'm like this, you know, always trying to set it up. And I've discovered that just meditating on a, you know, daily basis, or at least 3 or 4 times a week, has helped me so much. And I'm being totally sincere with you when I say that I meditate now at least every other day, but I don't do it to great extents. You know, I don't go out of my way to do these elaborate meditations. I do 15, 20 minutes, and it has been beautiful and glorious for me personally. So I wanted to share this with you, that it doesn't have to be a big ordeal. All right, so there's many, many methods for meditation. There's so many, and I'm sure that you will already research some. I went through that. I did a lot of the researching. I used, you know, different music and the beats and all that kind of stuff. And I've done all that. And I've done guided imagery, you know, or guided meditations, and certain music and all that kind of stuff. And everybody's going to have stuff that works for them. And that has worked for me in the past. And now I'm more of a, you know, just kind of chill out for 15, 20 minutes. I love, me personally, I love quiet music or nature sounds. And there's a website called calm.com. It's www.calm.com. No, I don't work for them or get promotion or anything. Not an affiliate or anything. I just love it. It's so cool because they'll show you different scenes, and you can set it to have guided meditation, or you can set it so that it's just music. And you don't even have to look at the scene. I like to start off, I look at the scene for a little while to get that picture in my head, just to get me, like, to start clearing out some of the thoughts in my head. But then I lean back and I don't look at the picture anymore, and then I just listen to the music, and then before I know it, I'm in a meditative state. And it's usually only 15, 20 minutes, but it's so calming and rejuvenating. And I just found it to be such a blissful way to meditate. But everybody's different, like I said. I mean, you certainly might want to do other things, you know, bring in the crystals and the aromas and all that kind of stuff, and the candles, and set up yourself in certain ways, and that's all great. But for daily use, you can simply meditate for 10 to 15, 20 minutes a day or every other day very easily. So the way I like to do it, like I said, is I go to this calm.com. I absolutely love it. and I lean back and I just quiet my mind. And it's hard at first to shut off, but after about 5 minutes or so, I could find myself just really, really relaxing and getting lost into that music, which I find to be very calming and soothing. I'm a nature girl, so I love those nature sounds. So what works for you? Maybe there's a singing bowl or Tibetan bowl or anything like that, or the beats, you know, you may want to use any of those kinds of things to help you get into that state. That's really up to you to try those different methods. What's important though, all those different techniques, counting, I count, actually that's another thing that I do. I count to 10 over and over and over again till I bore myself to death. And I also listen to my breathing or my heartbeat. So I find that to be very helpful too, especially your breathing. I mean, your heart, when you listen to your heart beating, that can really make you kind of sleepy and put you out, you know. What's really important is to relax. That's key. Whether you have your feet on the ground, whether you're sitting, you know, in a meditative state. I mean, I personally have to lay down. I can't sit up and meditate. I've never been able to do that. So it really depends on what makes you comfortable. The key is to be comfortable and relaxed. And what's really important too when meditating, and especially if you're going to do a more intense meditation, is to make sure you ground yourself. Especially on ones where you're using the different beats and the singing bowls and things that really help you, you know, change your frequency and vibration. Even when working with crystals, when you have that crystal energy, if you're working with really high vibe crystals, like, you know, even like the amethyst. I think I told you guys I don't have the amethyst here, but I have a certain amethyst that, you know, it buzzed me. You know, it's like, oh gosh, I need grounding after that. Or my Auralite 23 that I popped right out of my body within a few minutes. Or what's another one? My Amazonite, when I was meditating with my Amazonite and I had that really weird astral projection, lucid dream thing, I needed a lot of grounding. So when you're using crystals, especially ones that are making you vibrate, because sometimes you don't need the crystals, but a lot of times when you're working with crystals, they're amping up your energy, like a clear quartz or something will amp up your energy, and you start to vibrate. You know, do you ever get that feeling? You're starting to vibrate, or you get pulses through you like electricity, or you feel your crown chakra tingling or opening up. And these are all signs that, you know, your energy is moving around. You know, or you could be raising your vibration, or you are meeting the vibration of the crystal. You know, all these kinds of things are going on, and you need grounding after that. You have to remember that you need grounding after that, because one, you can keep yourself completely opened up. If you've been meditating with a very high vibrational crystal, like a moldavite, for example, or something along those lines, or an Auralite 23 or something. And if you just stand up right away, you kind of still have one foot, you know, over on the other side and one foot here. And so that could actually be kind of dangerous. All right. So you can fall, get injured, but you're also opened up. You know, you've opened up your crown chakra, you've opened up your third eye, you have all these visions and have all this going on, yet, you know, you got to go to school soon or go make dinner. You can't do that. So you have to remember, if you're doing a very intense meditation, to ground yourself afterwards or even during. Oftentimes, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just going to the calm.com and I'm just kind of relaxing and doing a simple meditation, I won't necessarily have a grounding stone at my feet. But if I'm doing a more intense, like a third eye or a crown chakra, because I want to have visions or have experiences like that, I will make sure I have my trusty black tourmaline or lodestone. I will have that at my feet, right? That is your earth star chakra, to keep me grounded, so that I can be grounded and at the same time have this spiritual expression, this spiritual experience. So that's kind of the ways that I do it. And there's so many other ways, and I'd love to hear how you meditate. Let me know in the comments below. You know, there's really no right or wrong way, as long as you're you know, secure and safe and having good experiences. And meditation can really, really help us. And there's all kinds of actually scientific, you know, articles and research about that. And even like the Cancer Institute, you know, they have meditation and yoga and stuff like that. So there's got to be something to it. So meditation is really, really, it's great to have as part of your daily routine or every other day, but it doesn't have to be the big 3-ring circus. All right. So that was, I share that with you because I went through that. And because I was doing that, I stopped meditating because I didn't have time for it anymore. Also, I just wanted to point out that when you do meditations, if you're laying down, you can do crystal placements. You can use crystals on different parts of your body during the meditation. Oftentimes when I meditate, I simply have the crystal in my left hand because that is my receiving hand, and that is where I feel energy more. I notice that if I put it in my right hand, I don't really sense it as much. Doesn't mean I'm not getting it. It's just I don't feel it as much. So I kind of prefer this one. Plus, your left hand is connected to your heart. So you can get to know your crystal on a more personal basis. So when I meditate, I usually 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, I have it in my left hand. I will occasionally place it on different body parts. So if I'm trying to work on my third eye or my crown or my throat or my heart, or my root or whatever, I'll put crystals on those various points of my body. You can certainly do that. You can also place them around your body. So when you're working on the crown chakra, for example, you can't exactly have a crystal on the top of your head. You know, you might have it right about here while you're laying down. So you can actually have crystals going around your body. But remember, when you're doing something like that, then you're going to need some grounding because they can be some very intense experiences. Those are more elaborate type of crystal meditation experiences. So you're going to want to have some grounding after that for sure. And it's also very hard to place crystals on yourself. So when you're doing something like that, you want to use like flatter crystals, you know, something flatter that's going to actually lay on your body versus, you know, ones that are really big and bulky, you know, like this is just not going to go on my third eye, you know. And so, yeah, you can definitely place them around your body as well during your meditation. So it depends on what you're trying to do. And maybe I'll make other videos with more specific layouts of things that you can utilize the crystals for. But I just wanted to give you a general idea about meditation and using the crystals. And I think the major point here is relax. Do what feels right to you. Don't worry about all the different techniques. You can try the different techniques, and what's going to happen is you end up picking and choosing different bits and pieces of techniques, and then you come up with your own technique. And that's really the one that's going to work for you. And then, you know, you can utilize the crystals. Like I said, just ground and, you know, have fun with it. And during your meditations, you know, look for those visions or sensations or sudden knowing. And you may not have anything right at that moment. You might have experiences days later at nighttime while you're sleeping. You might have some kind of sudden knowing, or you know what happens a lot of times to me, all of a sudden I just know something. Like I'll be having a conversation with somebody and then I just start spitting out information that I don't even know where it came from. Most likely it came during a meditation, you know, or I was opening myself up to receiving information. So those are just some tips on crystals and meditation, and I hope that that helps you get started. Please let me know in the comments below how you like to meditate and what crystals you like to meditate with. And as always, guys, have a blessed day. Bye.